In a world full of movie podcasts, here is one more. Welcome to Defend Your Movie with Sean Donnelly.
And Andrew Fiore.
The time has come again. The champion must stand. It can only be one of us. Victoria! So stand up and fight, my friend. There's a title you must defend. Shut it on and on. Bring it to me. Defend your movie.
Hello, Defenders. Welcome to another fantastic episode. Oh, this is going to be a big one. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Andrew Fiore, the newly minted 40-year-old. And that lovable laugh you hear is, of course, my wonderful co-host, Mr. Sean Donnelly, everybody.
Hello there, Defenders. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Andy is right. By the time you hear this, he will be 40 years old.
Let's fingers crossed. You never know what can happen in 48
Well,
hours.
don't say that,
Pull back
dude.
the curtain. That's the reverse jinx.
Oh, if you say that, nothing happens?
In my superstitious sports fan head, I go.
If that helps you, okay, then I'll do it that way.
I have college buddies who are always like, you know, if their team is down a goal or something, they'll go, "Oh yeah, watch, we'll get like shut out for the rest of the game." It's the reverse jinx, because then if they score, it goes, you know, it's a weird,
big deal.
It's a weird sports fan superstitious.
All right, but you're turning on to life and death. That's sports. He's like, I can just say I'm going to die when I'm not going to die.
It's
like,
God,
maniac.
If this really comes true though, now,
Oh my God!
please put out this episode.
I'll jump out a window.
No,
This got real morbid real quick. I'm admiring this dude's backpack outside where we are taping.
oh, that's a nice little,
That's a little like that's a guy.
messenger bag style.
Yeah,
But
he's on the run. That guy all the time.
what are you running from, bro?
Where you going, bro? Come on, come back. I'm glad to see you, my friend.
Always.
How is everything?
Oh,
We're
good.
gearing up we're taping this before your party, so everybody will hear about the Andy Fiore party next week.
Yeah.
And does the offer still stand from last week? Does it still stand that? Oh, I guess people won't know. It'll be gone. It'll be done by then.
Hopefully, any defender that came
Got a free drink.
Yeah, exactly. I will buy you a free drink. I'm feeding everybody too. At the big party on Saturday. I'm having like an out of town friends party. I have Dos Toros, I believe a step up above Chipotle. And I'm firm in that.
Yeah, I would say it's way better than Chipotle.
It's the exact same price points, just better quality food. I love it.
I'll tell you why, because there's less of them.
Yeah, I think they're only in New York and Chicago.
Oh, really? Because the more you have of those things...
That could be completely wrong on that.
I don't know about that, but I know people love it. And the more you have of a place... That happened with Mighty Quinn, the barbecue place. And,
Yep.
And this is on a smaller scale. Like, they're not like Chipotle, but they're aiming to be franchised as much as they can. There's a place in the Midwest called City Barbecue. I think there's like probably 10 to 15 of them. Right. But... and even I went to one when I was on the road recently, and I can feel the quality suffering. Because I think they have like a central smoking location where all the meat's picked up from, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's happening with Mighty Quinn, and that might suffer after a while. But it's still good, though. It's still really good.
Yeah.
I went to speaking of barbecue, I did a show in Connecticut, and I went to a place called Hoodoo Brown in Ridgefield, Connecticut.
You got the T-shirt on.
I got the T-shirt on. I bought a T-shirt. I'm that guy.
I love it because it's got the Dirk Diggler neon font.
Yeah, it's got like this throwback like neon sign font on it, and it's like legit.
I just see my name up there, Jack, and it just like pops. It just says these 2 words.
We look like assholes right now, man. So I went to this barbecue place, and it's like, if you are in the area of New York City, just take the drive, 44 miles, go to Ridgefield, Connecticut, go to Hoodoo Brown. It's more legit than any Texas barbecue spot. If you're a Texas barbecue guy and you really know what you're talking about, go to Hoodoo Brown. It will not disappoint. It's on par with Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
It's the brisket is as good as I've had in Austin.
Is that what you go for? Your number one go? Is you judge it?
Is brisket?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, brisket is the hardest thing to make. From what I understand, I'm a layman. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I'm trying to learn more about that. I find it fascinating, like how much goes into this. I'm a layman when it comes to barbecue.
Yeah,
a barbecue layman, and
they're eating big brisket sandwiches every day.
and So I don't know what the hardest thing to cook is, but if I had to guess, it's the brisket.
I would think so.
Because when we tried, even me and my buddy, we were making ribs, and even ribs to keep the heat consistent was almost impossible. So with brisket, I'm like, that's even harder because that affects it even more, and the setup has to be perfect. It's just trial and error.
Pork is a very touchy, very temperamental meat. Like even though I would just live alone, you know, get like a roast pork or whatever. It dried out like a minute, like had 30 seconds too long. You just ruin it. It would be dried out, and then it would just lose the flavor.
That's what. Yeah, exactly. So
that's the flavor.
If you want legit, go to Hoodoo Brown. It's unbelievable. Like the brisket did not disappoint.
Nice endorsement.
Like maybe next time I go in, I get a free shirt or free brisket.
Yeah,
I'd love
either
that.
one.
And how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I was excited this weekend because I did watch a movie, one that I had been looking very forward to, a show that I loved. And we had no finale. It just ended so abruptly.
Because it got canceled.
It got canceled when they thought it was going to get picked up. And now it's just it was just done. It was the Deadwood. It was Deadwood movie.
Yeah, my experience with Deadwood, I never watched it, and then it was already gone by the time that I was going to watch it. And I really wanted to, though, and I tried to start watching it recently, and I turned it off after 2 episodes. I don't know why, I just couldn't get into it, but I do want to watch that movie.
You love Western stuff.
I know. I'm going to jump back into it again.
And because you do need to see the series before the movie. The movie, it kind of brings you back, but 10 years later, and then reintroduces the characters, but you need the history.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I definitely, I'm going to give it another shot. I do that with stuff. I've done that a million times where I literally have jumped out of something and then jumped back in.
Yeah.
Like Ozark. Like I'll go back into Ozark. Like that kind of thing.
All right.
Yeah. So what's the verdict as far as the movie goes without giving too much away?
I enjoyed it, but I wanted more because they kind of wrapped things up, but it was only 2 hours. So you go, me and Jacob were talking about it earlier. You go, it felt like they were trying to pack a whole season that they didn't get into 2 hours of a movie. So everything felt abbreviated, everything felt rushed, and you go, you see these characters die or whatever, and without giving too much away, you just go, I would have just liked to see where that went over the course of 10 episodes or whatever, you know?
Yeah,
and then it was just over, and then you just go, but it ended great. It did end great on like a classic.
So is that it, you think? Or are they going to make another movie?
No, I think that's it.
It's done.
Yeah, because I think the main writer, David Milch, is not doing well. He's in his Alzheimer's, and so he's like the EP writer.
Oh.
One of the characters is based on him, Al Swearingen, so I think we're done. Is
that the saloon owner?
Yes.
It's
Ian
based
McShane,
on,
he's great.
He's based on David Milch?
One of my favorite characters in all time.
He's based on the show's creator?
Uh-huh.
It's like Dr. Evil being based on Lorne Michaels, but the Western version of it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because he's like a ruthless cunt in the...
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Bad van.
Yeah.
Seinfeld van.
Seinfeld van. He said, what, he said Son of Sam. I think he said Son of Sam. I did.
That fans are rocking. Don't go a knocking.
I think we have to talk about that for a second. I think I'm starting to really have a problem, like where it's affecting, like people like alcohol is affecting my life.
Yeah.
Seinfeld quotes are affecting my life.
How so?
Well, it's not like
greatly.
No, here's the thing. The other day, I was going to meet up. We met up with some comics in Central Park for Memorial Day when that was a couple weeks ago, whatever it was. And I can't go 10 minutes without thinking of a Seinfeld quote.
The biggest Seinfeld heads out there.
Well, here's the thing. But it was before I even went, and I go. I wrote to Joe List, and I said, should I bring anything? And then immediately right below it, I wrote, bring anything? Why would Jerry bring anything?
Why would Jerry bring anything?
Did you emphasize Jerry or bring? I think you have to emphasize the. But, like, it's one of those things where I can't go a full day without thinking at least, one.
I don't see anything wrong with it. Mostly because I suffer the same affliction.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like preaching the choir here.
Yeah, that is. It's like an alcohol. You're like, well, you had 6 whiskeys?
Yeah.
All right. What?
Yeah.
I'd like a whiskey right now.
Yeah. You're just enabling the quoting.
Right.
I will never.
I was meaning to talk to you. I don't think you do it enough.
Like, to the point where my roommate's like, maybe you watch a different show. Like, and I actually have pulled back on watching reruns lately.
I have too, but I go in and out. If they're like, they've been rerunning the very early season ones, and I just, I won't.
I won't watch those.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. They're not as good, and they kind of take you out of them. They're kind of like, they even look old. Like, the later ones look old, but you can tell when you know what I'm saying? Like, when you see a certain look of them, you're like, I'm not going to like this one.
Well, we also did, for a little while there, we got into a bad habit of watching it together, not all those separately, and then just texting it, which is the ultimate, like...
It's like we were dating.
No, you hang up first.
Yeah. Because we really were like...
No, you turn off your TV first.
There was times, and it only happened a couple times, but where there'd be times where I'd be watching it, and then you would send me a quote from the show that I was watching.
That is what you're like, I know, I'm watching too.
Yeah. My roommate Robert Dean, very funny comic, and he was like, yeah, you have to stop. Like, you have to. There's a problem. I think he had like an intervention.
Seinfeld intervention?
Yeah, he intervened. He entered Robert Dean.
I love it.
So, yeah. I'll quote it till I die. Let's be honest.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't let him harp on your fun.
I know. I shouldn't.
But that's all I watched, because we only got together a few days ago, so I didn't really have much time to watch anything else. But I did
absolutely.
tackle that this weekend, because I was looking so forward to it.
I haven't watched a movie. I got myself on, speaking of HBO stuff, maybe they'll make a movie out of this. I got myself back on The Wire. I watched a random episode of The Wire.
Yep.
And I just can't stop. When I watch those, I just hit play on, and it was on Amazon too. Like, they have them on Amazon.
Yeah.
Hit play on one of the episodes, loved it, and just let it go, and just sat there and watched it, and didn't even, I was lazy with it, and it's so good.
Yeah.
And this is like the fourth time I've seen these episodes, like fourth or fifth time.
I'm due for a rewatch of The Wire.
Have you done it ever before?
I think I watched it a second time in and out with my old roommate. He was watching it for the first time.
Yeah.
So he would have it on a lot. So I saw a lot of his first viewings. I would just hover in the room and then I'd get caught. And I'd watch whenever he was watching. But I haven't watched it straight through like I have, like, Sopranos.
I think it's like, that's the life that I wanted. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you think about if you're ever going to be a cop or something, that's how you want it. Where it's like, oh, they're really good at what they do, and they're funny, and they break each other's balls.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they're cool. But, like, that's not the way it would be. I would just be a goofy fucking beat cop that people are making fun of behind their backs. But you, with that, they're like cool detectives, but they're actually cool. They're not. There's no bullshit. That show, there's no bullshit on that show. It's just straight up cool show. The writing's cool, the acting's, everything's great about it.
I just did what do you call it? Jesus, Boardwalk Empire. I watched the first season again, and it is really good.
I watched the first season of that show, and I gave up on it.
Oh, you should stick with it. It gets great.
Yeah, I should do that. I know. You want to get to the meats and the potatoes?
Let's get to the meats and the peats.
This week is actually, this makes I don't know if will we get shit for this matchup, you think, or no?
Probably.
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that it deals, because it deals with the end of the world. It deals with, they both deal with the end of the world, and they also have very similar things that are going to happen, just a different way of telling them. And the matchup this week is T2, Terminator 2.
Judgment Day.
Versus The Matrix.
I couldn't have jumped on T2 harder.
Oh, I jumped on The Matrix right away.
No, this is why it would be a good one.
Would you like to discuss what your reasoning is? Is there anything that pops out? We can go from that point? Or
what pops out to me?
Meaning, what did you think of right away of why you're defending it?
I was one of those guys who never really got on board with The Matrix. I was just like, I don't see what the hype is. And I still don't. T2, I couldn't have been more excited for a movie when I was a kid. I had my mom buy it for me. It was rated R. I had her buy me a ticket. Like, I begged her to let me go by myself without, an adult.
Yeah.
And it was summer blockbuster.
See, here's the thing. It was a summer blockbuster, but so is The Matrix.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to, I kind of had the same feeling about Terminator 1. Terminator 1, I was lost on me because it came out 84. It was too adult for me to see.
I never saw it until years later.
Exactly. So when T2 came out, I saw it, but I wasn't as anxious. Anticipating as much as you are. But I do like Terminator 2. I think it's great.
Oh, it's
and it's
fucking phenomenal.
And as far as effects go from back then, what was it, 92, right?
92, 93.
92, 93.
Yeah.
So the effects are just unbelievable for that year.
Totally.
And to be honest, they probably still, I haven't seen it in a while. They probably still hold up.
T-1000? Are you kidding me?
That's the thing. The liquid metal thing, people went apeshit for. Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to watch, because then actors keep acting, and then he just became like this degenerate gambler in The Sopranos. Do you watch The Sopranos episode?
Of course.
Where they bang him out of his shop?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, but your T-1000. Just turn to liquid metal and beat up Tony Soprano. Tony Soprano versus T-1000. Tony Soprano wins.
Worlds are colliding, Sean.
I know, but everything's one big mishmash. But yeah, so when it comes to the Matrix, here's the thing about T2. Like,
what was so groundbreaking about the Matrix that was so like? Was it the bullet scene?
I think it was the story. I think what it was is the same thing that's groundbreaking about T2. The liquid metal thing that people freaked out about is the him dodging the bullets. That effects, that was brand new. That was completely brand new. The kung fu scenes.
Choreographed fight scenes.
The choreographed fight scenes. The story itself, to me, I thought was so much cooler than T2 because it dealt with. It was like this cool like. What? What do you?
I thought of the thing at T2. That's one of the corniest things ever.
What was it?
It's going to be.
Go ahead. Say it.
It's when Eddie Furlong. You know when they go and they find the scientist who created essentially the T-1000, but it's still in the.
Yeah. What's his name? He's great. Great actor. You know his name? You know his name?
Stop, Soder, hop in.
You guys were talking about Tyson.
Your mic's not on yet.
Wait, Mike Tyson?
Number 2.
His name is Tyson.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Dan Soder.
Dan Soder is on the show.
Man, it was really irking me.
You mean his name in the movie's Tyson?
Yes. The character's name is Tyson.
Is that Dyson? No, Tyson.
No,
that's
it's
a vacuum.
Tyson. I'm going to look it up right now. It's driving me nuts.
But that's not his real name.
No,
it's the character's name.
No, the character's name, and it's the scientist that creates Skynet, that helps create Skynet, the chip.
Yeah.
That makes Skynet go away. But you were saying, what is it?
When Eddie Furlong, when they go and attack his house, essentially.
Yeah.
And he's like, you promised me you wouldn't kill anybody, but to get the little kid out of there, Eddie Furlong, this is the line we've been quoting from our friends. He goes, come on, James, show me your room.
Yeah. Do you want to show me your room?
Come on,
and that's
show
when
me
he goes,
your room.
Show him. And that's when that's right before Arnold cuts his arm. You want to show me your room? It's the way he says it. And it's not Tyson. It's Miles Dyson.
Dyson. I said Dyson.
You're right. Miles Dyson. And it was played by the actor Joe Morton.
Joe Morton.
Yeah.
See, I never would have gotten...
Dude, my friend, when I used to wait tables... This is 10 years ago. Did the perfect Miles Dyson breath. My friend Kendall, this black dude, he would do it where he'd go, it would be like, we'd be in the hutch, waiting tables, and he'd hold the water thing, and he'd be like, are they running out of water? Dude, it always got me. It always got me. The reason I wanted to tag in, also, just real big ups to Defend Your Movie. Huge fan. Long-time fan, first-time caller. The scene that makes no sense in Terminator 2, because I just watched it, like last week, is the T-1000 is liquid metal.
Yeah.
So he can replicate anything metal. Yep. Well, then first, how can he turn into humans?
That's true.
Because humans are flesh and bone. And number 2, when he breaks into the insane asylum to get Sarah Connor, he's the floor.
Yeah, he's a floor.
He's just linoleum floor. He's linoleum. And then that's when he comes up and the guy goes, hey, I got a winner. And then he turns around and he's like, and he goes to the coffee cup.
That's a blade in his thing. But here's the thing about that, like, wouldn't it be a much worse villain if you're like, he can only turn into linoleum?
There you go. Okay, so I guess we stay out of kitchens?
And he's like, don't get caught in a flooring store.
Yeah.
It's like, he can only do carpet, linoleum,
no, is this floor linoleum? Let's go around. That was the T-991. He's like, we're running out. He's like, I don't think you should just be linoleum. You think you should be other stuff? Like, you got metals?
They went through a whole bunch of the T-875. It was just a dick.
Yeah. The T-948, which was, it's bamboo. It was just everything bamboo. We thought John Connor was going to be born in the Far East.
The T-900 was just wicker. It was
just one of those.
Well,
if you're at a grandma's house, you're all set.
Yeah. There you go. I'll tell you this: if it's a high school picture from the '80s, that guy's dead. If it's wicker, those big wicker chairs.
All right. Well, that being said, another point for T2, in my opinion.
Another point for T2.
Now, Matrix
Well,
was.
that's when you got to.
I'm just coming in here.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm a T2 fanatic, but in your argument,
you would pick T2 over Matrix?
T2 is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Thank you.
But you say that
But
because...
from a nostalgia kick.
Oh.
I think Matrix is unbelievable. I think Matrix 1, the first Matrix.
That's
Right.
unbelievable.
Well, that's what we're going
going
by.
on.
Yeah.
That's what we're going on.
That's a good rivalry. T2 and Matrix 1.
Yeah.
Matrix 1 had the bullet scene, the kung fu, the fighting,
The code.
which they basically took from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Moved it into
True.
an American action movie, which we had never seen. They did the entire idea, which no one outside of Westworld did well since The Matrix, that this isn't reality. And that
See, that's
this is
what
a
I'm
simulation.
saying. Because also,
But-
the other one's supposed to be future aliens as well, machines that take over. And to be honest, that's kind of what The Matrix is, but it's a better story than
Well,
T2.
what ruins Terminator 2 is they put a specific date on it. You ruin any movie where you put a specific date because they go 1997. And
Yeah.
now you watch it in 2019, you go, well, that didn't happen. But you can watch The Matrix in 2019 and be like, this still could be a simulation. We have
Yeah,
no
I
idea.
give you that.
Yeah. Well, I told him last week, I watched Artificial Intelligence, the one
Yeah.
with Joel Osment,
Yeah.
and it's a piece of garbage
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But it's about kind of the same thing where it's like the AI and what they, but not in an action way, but like it's still that same topic.
Also-
the Matrix made it really cool. Like the idea that just that feeling of dread of like what's going to happen to the human race. That's what the Matrix does a better job.
I disagree, dude. You have you literally see the apocalypse happen.
But
and
there's
people
too many
getting wiped.
questions that happen from that kind of apocalypse. The radius blast, where was everyone hit? Who survived? Why is Skynet evolved? Like, there's a lot of
For a
questions.
big fan, you're pointing out a lot of problems.
I know. I mean, I love it. I've watched this movie over 100 times.
And T2 is more straight up. I think it's more.
Yeah,
there's-
T2 is like, you want to
it's
see
a war-
Arnold
it's a war
carry a
movie.
Gatling gun.
Yeah, which, let's
Yeah.
face it,
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
it's
right.
centered around that.
Absolutely.
It's
and then you
basically
build the
like,
story out.
this is Arnold, whereas Matrix, Keanu was there, but when you find out Will Smith was almost Neo, that's kind of cool. The whole
I never
story,
knew that, huh?
they were going to give, the Wachowski brothers at the time.
Yeah. Now sisters? They're both
sisters.
yeah, we
they're
looked
both
them up
sisters.
the other day. Ooh, child.
Better looking as women. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, they're better looking as women. They were supposed to get 3 movies, and then it was sandwiched down to 1, so they made that 1, and then they were given 3 with the success. So it kind of got fucked. Because that was
Oh, so
supposed to
even
be
the first one was supposed to be more
that
spread
was
out?
3 crammed into 1. They took story arcs from like 3 things and put it into 1.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because that could have been a longer burn.
Then that bodes even better for Matrix.
Exactly.
That comes off like a pretty succinct movie.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I
So
Terminator
think
2 is like a war movie. It's like a war movie.
Yeah.
it's what you put on when you're sick.
Yeah.
It really is.
Even Matrix I would put on, when I was, sick or whatever.
But what a great line to quote. Show me your room. Hey, you want to show me your room?
Come on, show me your room.
Hey, remember how my mom just came in here with an AR-15 and leveled your glass house? Show me your room. And then he cuts the arm off.
It also has...
badass.
It's badass.
Another
though.
corny thing about it has Sam from Different Strokes. The
Yeah.
kid from Hey Dude, that redheaded kid.
Love him. What a better way to show that John Connor is a piece of white trash
Yeah,
than
dirt biking.
than the kid from Salute Your Shorts. So by degree of separation, technically in the realm, John Connor is friends with Donkey Lips, and no one talks about this. Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts is friends with John Connor.
Yeah, if it's one big universe, sure.
And it's one big universe because then that kid goes to summer camp. And
Oh, yeah.
He's friends with John Connor. He's
You're
like,
just
"I'm my
basing
friend."
it off that is the same guy.
Yeah, if you're placing that kid with the red mullet, it's
Yeah.
the same guy.
In fact, you can even make it that, like, because he was such a bad apple, like, they sent him off to camp to, like, shape up or ship out.
Camp
Also-
Onawanga.
Onawanga was actually a kid from a reform camp.
It was a foreign kid.
That's a good point. And also, you have to assume that kid, whatever his name is in real life, he was
he used
taking
to
wearing the
fucking
mullet.
know it.
Because that's 2 things that he has the
He
mullet
probably
in.
booked him with inside and out.
Yeah.
While he was doing Camp
There's the
Onawanga.
Wachowski sister right there. I'll tell you that. I'll take a shot at that big lady.
Wow, it does look better. She does look better.
Wachowski.
But
so sorry to tag in. I just wanted to say.
Stay.
I gotta go.
Where are you going?
I gotta go downstairs. I just wanted to say hi. I love you guys.
Love you.
Why don't you just stay for 5 more minutes?
Danny Cooksey.
Bye, Dan.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for your
input. That was hilarious.
Soder, everybody. I think by the time this comes out, maybe season 4 finale this Sunday. So please check it out.
Of Billions? Yes,
watch our pal
it.
Danny.
Our friend is on. He's a big part of the show.
I'm not a big part of the show.
He is a big part of the show. He's a big star. He gets recognized all the time. We were in Central Park. He got recognized.
I know.
Like as you walk by people are like, "Is that?
Yep.
Is that the guy from the?
Oh yeah.
Is that him from the guy who loves the mullet guy from? Is that the guy who loves the Hey Dude? No, I mean not Hey Dude. Well, salute your shorts. Salute your shorts. Thank you so much for your opinion.
I wouldn't be in a reboot.
So you would
in a second as the counselor.
Well, really quickly before you go, you would take T2 even though you just said what you said.
The Terminator franchise has the most glaring plot holes of any franchise ever, more than Star Wars, more than anything. It's my favorite.
Does the Matrix have any?
Yes.
Probably has.
After 2 and 3, after 1, it gets real fucking. It gets real murky.
I don't know them.
And I gave up. That's how good of a franchise Terminator is.
You'll still watch it.
I'm so excited for the new one. Oh my god, with Linda
Hamilton
Hamilton.
looks awesome.
Yeah.
That looks
Cameron?
good. What?
Yeah, James Cameron produced it.
Look, who's that?
Yeah.
It's him, James Cameron.
Yeah, they said that he was watching the dailies he was getting the film every day.
Really?
Yeah, because they fucked it up so many times.
Yeah.
This continues after T2.
Got that Avatar bullshit out of the way.
See, man?
That's what they did with Halloween.
They should do this. I have a thing. They should do it with Alien, too. They should do it with fucking Alien.
Yes.
Where they
slap you.
It's quite all right.
It should be right after Aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
Alien 3 never happened.
Every movie like that falls apart should get a Logan. That's their Logan. Everything
that is a Logan.
Yeah,
that's
a
good
Logan.
Call it a Logan.
Logan everything.
All right, I gotta go. Show me your room.
See you, Danny. Thank you.
Later, buddy. Dan Soder, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice little surprise guest appearance.
Yeah, he's right. Like there. I know T2 is more like monumental. I don't even know, man, because Matrix. They screwed themselves with the sequels.
A box office comparison would be a good one here.
But when it comes to T2, it's like
okay. Well, then let's go.
But for me personally, I get more excited off the Matrix than I get. I think it's a cooler,
more excitement.
I love the world better. I love.
Okay, but what about
Joe Pantoliano? I love in it. I love like his whole thing that he like wants out. Joe Pantoliano is kind of the voice of the audience at a certain point in that movie where they're like, yeah, this does kind of seem like it sucks. And when he has that scene when he's eating the steak and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like what?
I was just I want to do a box office comparison.
All right, go ahead.
Keep going. Your budget. I gotta look up Matrix now.
When it comes to the Matrix, I go.
I have a feeling
tell
Matrix
me
made more.
What?
I have a feeling Matrix made more.
Matrix probably did. No, just for the first T2 versus the first Matrix. The first Terminator, I don't think made that much at all. I don't think it was huge. First Terminator was more. The first Terminator is more understated, and I probably liked the first Terminator. I don't even remember it. My dad loved it. I remember that when I was growing up. My dad loved it. But when it comes to Matrix, for me, I think it just blew me away more. Like, but what you can fit T2 in is the blockbuster aspect of things. Like, that is a true blockbuster, and it had a true movie star in it. Like, Matrix is a little bit more understated having Keanu Reeves. He's not as big of a star as as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Are you looking at it now?
Oh, well, actually,
you're looking at it like you're shocked.
Worldwide, Matrix made $463 million.
Matrix made how much?
$463 million.
Wow.
And worldwide, T2 made $519.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it was a more popular movie.
And that's $1991.
I don't know if
that's adjusted for.
It's probably adjusted for.
Okay.
I think they just keep adjusting it. But you might be right. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like $1 billion at this point.
Matrix came out guns blazing. I think that is maybe. It had in the T2, I think, gained more popularity. Matrix, I remember being like groundbreaking, where people were calling it that.
Yeah, but they both kind of had that because of technology. They both kind of pushed forward the world of movie technology. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can almost like almost like how the Star Wars were when they're all part of that world of like getting movies to where CGI is like they can just conjure anything and they can make Kurt Russell look like he's 25 again.
Yeah.
Like now they're just like, hey, if you will it, we'll just put it on the screen.
Right.
But back then they were like, we have to master these techniques. Like back then they were CGIing tigers in Gladiator in 2000, or they were like they were getting to the point where they're just creating everyday things, like creating mystical things. Yeah, like if you put it, if you kind of hide it with a set piece, I'll give you that. Like it might be a little bit easier,
What else? How about more iconic soundtrack? You got to go with T2.
It was Guns N' Roses.
Well, Guns N' Roses, but it has the actual score is great too. That's a very famous score. I can't even tell you what The Matrix is.
Matrix is just that's Mortal Kombat. Matrix is just a bunch of techno music, but
exactly.
There's the part where they go try to rescue Lawrence Fishburne, and they go into the lobby with those guys, and they have every gun possible, and the amount of killing that's done in that lobby with the security guards.
Both movies, a lot of armory. They go to the desert. They go to that guy's like underground bunker.
Yes,
and he's got like the same thing. They might have gone to the same guy.
It probably is. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing about Matrix is like they just conjure up these weapons. Or even when he goes to like the white part, like the nothingness part, and like, what do you need? And he's like weapons, and they just rows and rows of guns just file out.
So okay, well then, how about more iconic lines? Can't think of any from the Matrix. Whereas the Terminator lines became a part of pop culture. It became like the Borat before.
Like which one? Like what?
Hasta la vista, baby. Are you kidding me?
That's not from the second one, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's all Arnold. Hasta la vista, baby.
Matrix has
I'll be back. Come on.
Doesn't Matrix...
Nothing like those.
Matrix has, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
He says, whoa, and he says,
so let's go.
I know karate.
Shitty actor, Keanu or Arnold? I gotta give this one to Keanu, actually.
You can match up men of few words acting.
Men of few words acting.
And I think Keanu has mastered this.
Keanu has mastered
He has two franchises that go with it.
I know. The
Matrix and then John Wick ones. Like, this guy can say 3 words a movie, and you're like, he's a star. Look at this gorgeous bastard.
Yeah, where they gotta be like, oh, he's a robot. That's why he talks in an Austrian accent.
Yeah. And then he's been in the movies where like he has to do some acting, you know? And then like Sylvester Stallone kind of used to be like that a little bit, but then he did Copland, and they're like, ooh, he's good at playing dopey.
But when was the last time you said that? I mean, there's badass action. Like, it's a good R-rated fight, like, violent movie.
And which one?
Great. T2.
Are you talking about Matrix? Because, Matrix, there is some badass action in the movie.
No, but I mean, like, like almost gory to the point of, like, when the T-1000, like, he shoots at the knife arm. I mean, it goes right through Homeboy's fucking mouth.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that?
crazy. A lot of it's very violent.
Like, that's gory almost. You know what I mean? Like, it was a cool, violent movie where, I don't actually think they would make them, like, that blatantly bloody now.
I don't know about that, because they did RoboCop, I heard it was really bloody. I didn't watch it, because I heard it wasn't the greatest, but I heard it was insanely violent. Like, insanely violent.
Well, I love that.
But when it comes to The Matrix...
I just remember, The Matrix bores me.
How does it bore you?
It just does, man. I don't know. I can't explain it.
There's a showdown scene.
All right, then let's go with pacing. I think T2 is much better paced. I think Matrix has these low points where it just gets slow and kind of boring.
When he's learning about all the stuff?
Yeah, and all before that, it's like, all right, and then what else? So, and this may be my ignorance toward the Matrix universe. What the red pill, blue pill?
The red blue, yeah.
So
it's a homage to Alice in Wonderland.
That's it.
Yeah, it's kind of just like this. It's kind of this weird.
It wouldn't have really mattered what he took.
No, it did matter. Like if he would have took the other pill, he would have went right back to the Matrix, and nothing would have happened. He would have went back to his how he knows his life before he met those guys.
So the first time I ever saw The Matrix, I was in college, and it was right after it came out. We had it. My buddy Pat had it. And me and my roommate, Glue, at the time, we lived in the dorms. And he is now a doctor, but he would study like a madman. Like, I mean, I've never seen somebody so driven. But to fuel like his studying, he drank a lot of coffee, smoked a lot of cigarettes. And he was on like a studying binge. And I was like, dude, I'm going to go down to Pat Guy's dorm, and we're going to watch this movie called The Matrix. And he's like, all right, yeah, I need to take a break. We go and watch it. We take bong rips and watch it.
Oh yeah, that's how most people watch that movie.
And on the
That
way
or on
back,
mushrooms or something.
we get back. We watch the movie, whatever. On the way back to our dorm, he's like, "Yeah, that was all right." He's like, "Man, I'm not really feeling great." And so we get back to our dorm, and my girlfriend at the time calls me. So it was, a small dorm room. So I'm actually standing out in the hallway on the phone, so I'm not bothering Mike. And he opens up the door, and he looks green. I mean,
holy shit,
green. He's like, "Hey, dude,
this is from the weed."
Well, so I'll get there.
Okay.
So I call. I go, "Hey, Jess, I gotta call you back. Mike is sick." So I walk into my dorm room, and he immediately starts puking into his garbage pail. And he was not drunk or anything. It was just... So I was like, "Do you want me to call VEMS," which was the Villanova Emergency Medical Service? These guys came, and you were, Fish, Grateful Dead kids. I swore they thought he was having an overdose because they came in there with the whole EMT team.
Holy shit.
Took him out. We went in the ambulance. They're inducing vomiting on him, and I'm sitting in the front, and I hear them go, "How's he doing?" They go, "Better go hot." And then the guy flips on the sirens, and we start taking off down.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, "What's that mean? What is he okay?"
Oh my
freaking
God.
out. I'm sitting shotgun in an ambulance. And the story is a very anticlimactic ending because he just ended up being like super dehydrated, had way too much caffeine, had way too much nicotine. Really, they just hooked him up to an IV.
So it wasn't the weed at all.
That didn't help. That sent him over the edge.
Like, more dehydrated.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess if you take a bong rip, that's also whatever it was doing, whatever the caffeine and nicotine were fighting over, that didn't help.
Oh my God.
So that made him super ill. Maybe
so his
that
face
is
was like
why-
literally green.
Yeah, I was like that color over
You're like, "You're going to the Matrix."
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's a whole thing where he gets like sick.
Do you see code dropping in front of you?
That you want to talk about a great scene? Going back to the defense here,
That was cool.
That's an unbelievable scene
Yeah.
where he realizes that he can read the code, that he
Yeah.
knows, he sees in it that he is the one, and he
Yeah.
sees in it, and then he just fights them with no effort whatsoever. That's a badass ending to that whole thing, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even when it was Dan was saying like there was supposed to be 3 movies. It's funny
Okay,
because
better ending.
better ending.
This is kind of tricky because
Well,
you are
no.
the beginning of a trilogy versus kind of the ending,
Yeah.
where T2 kind of
But,
exterminates.
but even if you take Matrix as a standalone, you don't even need the sequels to know that's a good ending. When he calls them and he's like, "You're on the run now. We're in charge," and then they fly away.
Yeah,
Like, that's still a badass ending, even if it ended there. Like, if they would have stopped, it would have been fine.
yeah.
Like, it did open it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
sequels, but it could have been like, oh, because the whole point of the movie was, is he the one? And at the end, they're like, he is the one,
Right.
and now he's a huge weapon against these
Both
guys.
the ones, John Connor and
Yeah, you're right.
Both
yeah,
the
yeah.
ones.
Yeah, you're right.
was he
Both the one. So it's so similar, these movies.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
these single people that help save humanity, basically.
Better cast.
Better cast. Matrix has a great cast.
It's
man.
much by the fact of numbers, just the ensemble. You can't say much
Lawrence
for Eddie
Fishburne.
Furlong. It's just such a
Eddie
goober.
Furlong stinks.
Show me your room. Show me your room, James. Come on. You go, "Oh, you fucking pussy."
No, Lawrence Fishburne, Joe Pantoliano,
Even-
Keanu Reeves. I love Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it's a better cast.
That even what's her name at the time?
It's a small cast in T2. You've
She's
basically
not.
got-
She's great. Carrie Ann Moss. What's her name? Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she was in Memento. Remember, she's in Memento as well. She's great in that.
Yeah, she was cool. I was in love for
Yeah, she's
she
one
had
of
that
those
cool look, the slick back hair,
fleeting
leather.
infatuation. Yeah. And then who else? And then a bunch of no-name people. They were great in it. They were like,
Yeah.
it was good acting. T2, you had the kid from Salute Your Shorts.
Or, yeah, Danny
Miss,
Cooksey, Eddie.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, movie star, but miss, like a terrible actor, but
No, it's
perfect for what
Matrix.
he's the Terminator, you know.
Yeah.
So better cast, better. You want action sequences, you know.
I don't know,
You probably
man.
win. T2 probably wins on that.
The semi scene and the motorcycle, all, like the chases. It's got. I think it's got Matrix beat. And I got to be honest. Yeah, like not to downplay it, but like anybody can do those choreographed fighting scenes. To be honest. I feel like if you got a good stunt guy in there who knows, it's like
I just think it's such a. You know,
I think to pull off the bigness of like actually being out in the open without the CGI, pulling off all those insane stunts, like chase scenes. I like it. Give me like a crazy chase scene over
the highway scene in T2. Probably that's why, in my mind, it wins for action, because that's an insane scene. But
Arnold's working with the shotgun.
Well, we're not doing sequels, but the Matrix sequel has that one on the highway that's pretty insane too. But it's kind of, I think.
I honestly have never seen the sequels.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not worth watching, I guess, but you almost watch them just for the story. They kind of dropped the ball on it.
Right.
They definitely did. But when it comes to Terminator, when it comes to Matrix, but there's enough great action in it to give it a run for its money, but T2 probably gets it on action.
Yeah, I say
Matrix
score
gets it on cast,
and music.
But as far as I don't know, I just think the action and even the kung fu scenes in Matrix are really fucking cool to me. They're really cool to me.
He calls it kung fu.
That's what it is. He goes. At one point he goes, "Well, I know kung fu," and he just knows kung fu.
Dude, I can't. I mean, I get it.
Well, how much would you love it?
Baby's got so much Courtney in hindsight.
Yeah, exactly.
So is
Hasta la vista, baby. Think about how overused that was for years.
Yeah, made it into Seinfeld. Ping.
Oh, that's right, Ping. Yeah. Oh my God.
She's a shock. She'd never lose a case.
Hasta la. They call her the Terminator. Hasta la vista, baby. We can't go a half hour.
I know.
But yeah, so there's corniness everywhere, to be honest.
Corniness everywhere.
All right, I'll give you this much. The only thing that bugs me about the Matrix, it's very goth, and it's basically just the continuation of the guys who made it are very goth, and they're all S&M guys, and gals now. They're women now, yeah. So. Goth stuff, I'm I can take or leave. I don't care about that, but
all right,
there's enough cool shit to make me like
Cameron,
Matrix.
I get to say, probably, as far as directing, I don't know what else those guys have done outside of the Matrix world.
They did a bunch of I don't even know what they did, to be honest. You're right. I mean,
I'm not even the biggest James Cameron fan, but
yeah, but he's Titanic, he's Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Avatar, which is groundbreaking. What?
It was T2 and then Avatar and then Titanic. You're these are so far apart.
I know.
Tone and
I think because of how big T2 was, he became the go-to guy.
Well, I also think he's he's a huge Titanic nerd.
Oh,
he did all that.
All the research and stuff. Yeah. Okay. But if you think about it, there's huge set pieces they did in Titanic that you need somebody like that, an action director, to do, like the ship cracking in half and whatever else it is. So it was probably just something different. Again, I don't know.
All right, flip test.
Yeah, they both. But Matrix, it's more.
Matrix definitely does not pass it for me.
You just don't like the Matrix.
Well, hear me out. I don't know if T2 passes the flip test for me either.
Really?
I'm not, dude. That means what we've set the standard for a flip test is if a movie's on, you've got to watch it, right? That's what we said.
You flip, but you go back.
I think I could probably leave T2 alone if I found something else.
Oh, see, Matrix, I would flip back.
Well,
yeah. And T2 flip test for me. I don't know if it passes.
It's fun, but it's a movie. I think you have to wait. You're I haven't seen T2 in a while.
I would because I haven't seen it probably in at least 10 years.
Yeah,
even
thing
longer.
For Matrix.
Yeah. Well, I saw Matrix kind of recently on Netflix.
I don't think we're going to come to a verdict here.
To be honest, as far as if we have a parameter, if you want to give it a parameter before we go. Is there a parameter? Is there a thing of better action movie?
Well, that's why I was trying to add if you're going to ask me, I think better action is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
I think you might have won because of what's involved. So you won on director, you won on big action scenes. So I just think the other one is
score.
It's more sci-fi and there's action.
You got acting.
It's what
I'll give you acting.
Yeah, but we're not
better cast.
But action is action, So I think you won for the day. But
all right,
do this, Defenders.
I needed a win.
Tweet at us. Tweet at us. It's for your birthday.
Thanks. And I believe our guest Dan Soder did claim it as his favorite movie.
So there you go. You have somebody else in your corner.
Vote.
But Defenders, at Defend Your Movie, send us a tweet. Let us know, what do you think wins, T2 or Matrix? I think we made a good case for both. I think that I think they're both good movies. I get more excited about The Matrix. The Matrix, to me, like the idea of The Matrix, I like better. Okay. And also email us, defendyourmovie@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the show. Subscribe, rate, and review. We
Please.
are on showbizzstudios.com.
And just tell a friend. These things grow word of
word
mouth.
of mouth. That's the biggest thing. Tell a friend to listen to the show, and
retweet all our stuff if you like.
Spread the love. Add a Defender. We'll buy you a drink. Add a Defender. We'll buy you a drink. We'll give you some meat and potatoes. Add a Defender. We'll give you a potato. How about that? If you tell a friend and you let us know, we'll give you a potato if we ever see you in person.
I guarantee it. I'll start having to carry potatoes around.
Potatoes
with
in my
me.
pockets.
Why are you carrying potatoes around? In case I meet a fan of my podcast.
There's a backpack full of potatoes. Nobody ever shows up.
Thank you to Dan Soder for hopping in. That was super funny.
Yes.
And go follow Dan on all his things, Bonfire, and his, skyrocketing career.
He's amazing. And and Showbiz Studios, and they have a YouTube page as well as an iTunes page.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much, guys.
Adios.